Final Destinations is back for an all-new film, Bloodlines. So today, let's rank all 6 of the films from worst to best. Make sure to leave your ranking down below. How would you rank all 6 of the Final Destination films? This isn't a franchise that I grew up with. I was more interested in the slasher films like Halloween and Chucky and Friday the 13th growing up. So it wasn't until I was in college, until the 5th one came out, that I really started to pay attention to this franchise. But I do enjoy these films. I like the lore that continues to be added to these movies, and they're just pretty entertaining movies. Coming in last place, The Final Destination. This is the 4th film in the franchise, and I think that this is easily the weakest one. Everything else is good and enjoyable. This is the one that is the shortest, an hour and 22 minutes long, and by doing that, you aren't able to fully get invested into the character's storyline. You don't have a time to establish the characters in the premonition scene in the beginning, get to understand certain relationships. It all just moves very quick. And once you get past the premonition scene, you don't have much time to dive deep into the characters trying to predict how they're going to die or cheat death along the way. There are some pretty gnarly kills within this movie, especially on the racetrack in the beginning of the movie, with the cars just piling on top of each other and just being shot out into the stands. In the late 2000s and the early 2010s, 3D was like the big thing, and so they had some 3D gimmicks that looked really bad. It made some of the kills feel very silly. So unfortunately, that 3D aspect, they tried to make it all very flashy, and it just did not work. You had the money shots and terrible CGI throughout this film. It just is a film that I couldn't feel connected to the characters after the racetrack and them trying to cheat death and predict what's going to happen, and all of the trauma and emotion is like really absent within this film. So easily it's the weakest one in the franchise. Coming in 5th place, Final Destination 5. I like this film. This is a huge step up from the 4th film. It has a solid opening on the bridge. You're able to understand the characters, who they are, their personality, relationships. It takes its time to really establish all these characters in the beginning, and then moving forward, you can feel connected to them and understand their storyline. This one also has some pretty iconic kills to it, with the gymnastics scene in the middle of the film. The bridge collapse scene is also pretty intense. I have a fear of bridges myself, so watching this one was very nerve-wracking, but also manages to introduce new lore to the Final Destination films, even with the 5th installment, by claiming someone's lifespan to balance the books, which does lead to some arguments and characters turning on each other. So I like that there was this fresh aspect to this movie, and it wasn't a repeat of that 4th film. It's interesting how they are able to bring a new element to this movie while also doing exactly what makes this franchise work. So with new kills and a solid opening to this movie, it's a huge improvement over that 4th film. The CGI is still questionable at times, but it's still a solid, entertaining movie with some very bloody sequences throughout. Coming in 4th place, Final Destination 2. I like the fact that they brought back Clear Rivers, played by Ali Larter, continuing from that 1st film, with being the last survivor on that plane crash from the 1st film. And this movie has probably the best premonition scene in the beginning, with the highway pileup and all of the logs. It is gruesome. It is intense. Just really sets the tone for the movie. And I like that they continue to do something new with this film involving Clear Rivers, as she does have these omens, these visions of people dying, and she's able to help out this new group of people, Kimberly, who had the premonition of the highway sequence in the beginning. It feels a little bit repetitive and much like that 1st film, and much of the sequels have done new things, but implementing something new with Clear Rivers within this film is able to shake it up a little bit and have some more dramatic scenes to it. How Clear Rivers is managing what had happened at the end of the first film, and so her reactions, what she's going through, just adds more depth to these characters. Everything's not gonna be picture perfect for them. They're gonna have trauma, and they do a great job of exploring that within the second film. Coming in third place, Final Destination. First film did a great job of taking everybody's fears of planes and using it against them. Everyday objects at home that could kill you. They really played up on average people's fears. The opening scene with the plane is very intense. It's tame when you really look at all the other films that came out after this, but Devon Sawa in this film, after the premonition scene and the plane had crashed, a lot of people were against him. A lot of people feared him and didn't know how to interact with him. You have two FBI agents, one of them Shrek, iconic by the way, that suspect Alex of foul play, and we see how Alex starts to unravel throughout this film, and people have a hard time believing him, which is a common theme to these Final Destination films. But they do a solid job of bringing the emotional aspect to this film and developing Alex as a character, what he's going through. He wants people to believe him and his premonition. And a lot of people, not only these FBI agents, but other people within the film, just kind of want to distance themselves from Alex. It's a realistic way to bring Alex as a character into the film and his premonition as well. It's got some great kills throughout. The one with Todd being hanged in the bathroom, that was very hard to watch. A lot of these kills did seem very personal, and you felt Death's presence a lot within this film. Not a physical character at all, but you felt Death lingering in the background for this movie. Coming in second place, Final Destination Bloodlines. This is a very surprising film, the longest film in the franchise, but it does a great job of justifying itself and a reason for existing within this franchise. You had the premonition scene in the beginning, set decades prior to our current timeline within the film, and this young girl gets engaged. She's at the top of this sky tower that looks a lot like the Space Needle, and people are dancing, the glass is breaking, and people die. She has that premonition. Well, we move to our current timeline, and her saving all the people, they weren't supposed to live, they were supposed to die, and they all had kids, they all had grandkids, and so you just had more and more people that extended this timeline, and now you're reaching your end. And it really starts to make you wonder if the people that were in Final Destination 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, were they part of that timeline that this young girl had saved all the people decades ago? Were these people connected to it all? Anyways, I thought all of the kills were pretty intense, especially the CAT scan scene. And the film's funny throughout. I laughed quite often. There's a young kid in the beginning that cursed and just got on my nerves. But there is a lot of jokes in this film about death and these premonitions and trying to cheat death, but I wasn't expecting to laugh so much throughout this movie. Pretty gruesome kills. I love the premonition in the beginning of the movie, and it just looks good. Like you could tell that they used their money wisely within this film. Everything is polished nicely. The kills have some practical effects to it as well, with a blend of CGI. It looks great for a Final Destination movie. But coming in first place, Final Destination 3. I liked the opening with the roller coaster. Played up on everybody's fears of roller coasters and avoiding them. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, she's great in here. Very anxious throughout this movie, and especially in the beginning of the film, and she is very fearful of this roller coaster, and they use that against her within this movie. But she's a photographer for the yearbook, and so all the pictures that she has are able to predict how everybody's going to die. Once again, implementing something new to the series that really starts to shake it all up. It also has some great kills with the tanning bed sequence. There are so many things that stand out and stands the test of time as well. Gruesome movie, a lot of fun. I like the characters in this movie as well. There's just a lot of nerve-wracking scenes, and they have a very nice momentum to it all. It's the one I had the most fun with, and I think it's overall a really good story for Final Destination. So there you guys have it, all 6 Final Destination movies ranked worst to best. How would you rank them? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Justin Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.